Hello, today is Monday. It is the 24th day of August 2015. My name is Derek and welcome to today's Silver and Dow Jones chart. But first, let's take care of some sponsorship. AG47fantasy.com, which is my personal fantasy football website, will be sponsoring today's video. This Sunday night, I'll be hosting a live Yahoo Fantasy Draft. If you're interested, head on over to ag47fantasy.com and you can join from there. If you play or want to play daily fantasy sports, particularly in football, then this page is going to have all the content that you're going to need to win your fantasy games this season. And this information will be free for this season as well. If you are interested in sponsoring the Silver Charts channel, and this mountain2008 at yahoo.ca is the email address in which you can contact me. Let's go over these charts, starting off within the daily chart for silver. I talked about hitting this key resistance point. So for the trend to reverse, come back to support, break resistance, and there you go. Well, technically it did barely pierce break resistance coming up to the running average from the high, but Friday's session and today's session, of course, bringing it down, thus making this high higher than this low higher than this. If the world is going to be going through these economic turmoil kinds of situations, you can throw away regular technical analysis and switch to crises technical analysis mode. And crises technical analysis mode has much higher volatility, and we haven't had that in play for about 7 years now. Therefore, normally with the pattern of higher highs and lower lows, what's to be expected is when it breaks either the upside or downside, it's going to significantly make it to its next move. So if it can get by here, probably a relatively fast move up to the 16 and change level as a minimum. And breaking down really below this key support, you're really talking about making new legs lower, not seen going back to 2009, 2008, which is most likely going to be the 12 or so area per ounce, if, of course, it's the downside that breaks on support. Now, the Dow Jones today was extremely volatile again. I'm going to show this chart via the monthly term time frame, which has been in an uptrend. Well, let's see. This was going down, so it got above here, established resistance, came back to support, and broke resistance in here. So it's really been in a bull trend since late 2010, early 2011, roughly at around 11,000. So obvious uptrend. How does this trend reverse to a down one? Well, first, support needs to be established. Well, if this is going to be the bottom, that's definitely deep enough, and it could even run deeper. So wherever the low happens to hit, when it manages to rally to reach this 18 average band, then come and break whatever established support is, then the trend would change over. But in today's session, it was down like 3,000 or 1,000 points, within the gap open, and it ended up getting a lot of its losses back, but still down about 500 points for the day, down 1,800 points or 10% so far for the month. And I've heard from, I think it was, can't remember who it is, but prophesized that the economic collapse would start in Europe, which we've seen Greece a couple months, many weeks ago, have their event. Then you wouldn't have that much time here in North America, but then shortly after that, America would come through, which is going to involve every country in what would be a debt crisis, debt collapse, which is due to happen. Whether it happens this year, 2020, 2050, I can't tell, but maybe it is this year, and this is the situation that they're talking about coming into play, which I think is why it's very important to have yourself out of untangible assets to tangible assets. And that'll be it for today's video. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a magnificent day. Bye-bye.